Oi, Ewie. Homelander done took me socks and done a runner. Bloody diabolical ass. Hello everyone, welcome back. I hope you enjoyed my Billy Butcher impression. If you haven't watched The Boys, or even if you have, now you probably think I'm autistic. And you know what? You're probably right. But today I want to be talking about the Sasori. I've had this thing for a little bit more than a week now, and I would like to talk about it. So, have my thoughts changed at all? I would say, um, as a net value, quantitatively speaking, I would say my thoughts on the Sasori overall didn't really change, but there are some minor points that I want to bring up. Okay, let's get into it. So, I've been flipping the Sasori on and off for the past week, and that is one of the things that I want to bring up. Usually when I get a new Bally, right? So like my Superfly, my Wing, my Corvus, any of my clones. Usually when I get them, I just flip them non-stop because I want to, because they're so unique, right? I don't have that with the Sasori, so it's by no means a bad thing that this is not super unique, right? It's still kind of unique, but the point is, it's not unique enough for me to want to pick it up and flip it all the time. Granted, this is a very good flipper by all means, right? It does all the tricks you want very well. It is very smooth and it is very fast. Although I do want to bring up the fact that it can't go very slow. It becomes kind of unstable. I can't explain why. Maybe it just doesn't carry enough momentum, but yeah, that was sidetracking. But yeah, the Sasori I find to be a pretty good flipper, albeit not super unique. If you want a Balisong that flips like this, it already exists, right? Well, it used to exist in the Corvus. So yeah, since I already have the Corvus, Sasori doesn't exactly fill a niche in flipping in my collection. It's just there as, you know, a Machinewise product, which is still cool. You know, it's a cool knife, cool maker, but yeah. First point is I found myself not flipping this as much as I probably wanted to, or should have. Secondly, a good thing, I found myself to be enjoying the Sasori's flipping much more as I started flipping it, because I realized how agile it really is. And by God, this thing fans like a dream. Maybe even better than the Corvus, which already fans super well. So right now, out of all my bellies, before I got the Sasori at least, my Superfly and Corvus are probably the best at fans. They fan super effortlessly. So with any fan like your usual fans, your palm fans, or even say your choker fans, they all did it really well. The Sasori might do it even better than them, so that's really cool. It fans super fast and without much effort. But it does still suffer in Chaplins, which is something that I found to be kind of frustrating lately. It is by all means a skill issue, right? But it's just that Chaplins on this are just a bit more unstable than on my Wing and Superfly. It's not a huge issue by any means, it's just kind of a minor nitpick. It does change how it flips, right? So it encourages you to go for like more fans and stuff, which is cool. It helps you get a new kind of flipping style, I guess, when you pick it up. But yeah, Chaplins, still not great. It's not a big problem. Yeah. On to the next thing. This has nothing to do with flipping, but is a slight worry, I guess. Okay, so chances are if you are not in a super humid place like Singapore, where I am, this next point won't apply to you. But the Sasori is my first Balisong since I started like 3.5 months ago to have rusted. I've never had any of my bellies rust, right? So okay, the Sasori's blade is made of 440C steel, and that is relatively common nowadays for trainers, right? I believe the Wing uses it, but it's mirror polished. My Tsunami clone uses it, my Rat clone uses it. The Superfly is 410, heat treated, but yeah, point is, I've never had any of my blades rust. Oh yes, and the marbles, but yeah. This is the first blade I've had to rust. And, you know, it's kind of surprising since I've only had it for a week and it started rusting. I was like, what the hell? Why is it rusting? I don't know. I really don't know why. So, okay. I'm not super surprised that it rusted because, you know, Singapore, the humidity is ridiculous. But I'm just not sure why it rusted so fast. It might be a worry too if you live in a humid environment, but yeah, just a small point that I wanted to bring up. So make sure to take care of the blade, oil it, you know, wipe off any dirt, any moisture. Yeah, you gotta take care of this blade. But yeah, other than that, the Sasori's tune is still holding up really nice. It has dropped onto this really hard floor about less than 5 times. Still, they were relatively hard drops, right? So I had it fly off my hand during a knuckle duster and like fucking catapult into that corner over there. It did leave a slight little mark here on the angle, but tolerances are still literally as good as day one. I don't know how the hell they do this, right? The tolerances are so good. It still sounds as good as when I unboxed it. That is insane. But yeah, Machinewise, great job on the Sasori. I will say the value on the Sasori is not as good as basically any of the Chinese manufacturers like the Balisong or LDY, but that's to be expected. Wages in America are more expensive, so the products will be more expensive. But I think you're getting a pretty decent value out of this Sasori, and you should get it if you can afford it. But yeah, I would say that's about it for now. I do have my zippy inserts for the Sasori and the spacers coming next week, hopefully, along with some carbon honey. So I'll be making a video on that. And that's about it for now. Get yourself a Sasori, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.